Hello, I'm Rahul, the founder and executive director of the Colorado Spanish Debate.
And I'm Blake, President of Outreach and Finances.
Language can drive change, but also exclude. In global forums and classrooms, leadership often hinges on English, leaving millions of Spanish speaking students behind. Take Colorado, for example. Over 140,000 students were classified as multilingual learners, up 30% from the year prior. Most of them speak Spanish, and that is 13% of the state's population being left out of traditional debate. Debate participation boosts analytical thinking by 87%, self esteem by 15%, improves grades in school, and improves college access, especially the top tier universities. But for Spanish speakers, those doors are often shut. CSD is our answer, a youth led program that brings debate to students in Spanish.
At a high level, our strategy begins with a pilot tournament in Colorado, which will be hosted on August 16th. We'll use this to prove the concept, fine-tune our systems, and build credibility. From there, we'll expand across our nation into South American countries using a replicable model. Online Spanish language debate tournaments that are hosted by local youth leaders in their own communities. Structure is simple. Identify students, share materials, recruit judges, and host the tournament online.
The first step is student outreach. Starting in June, we reached out to Denver libraries, food banks, and community groups to promote our project. We distributed flyers with QR codes linking to our bilingual website, coloradospanishdebate.org, where students can register and access resources. The hardest part? Getting responses during the summer. Dozens of emails went unanswered, so we studied how to launch a business and used those learnings and pivoted to using personal connections for our pilot tournament. Now, we're leveraging responsive organizations and their platforms to reach parents, educators, and students more effectively.
Next comes judge outreach, which is always the hardest part of running a tournament. Our tournament system will require one judge for every two competitors and a few backup judges in case of sudden illness, for example. To achieve this, our pilot has two main judge recruitment methods. First is community volunteers. We're contacting public libraries and other trusted institutions that serve Spanish-speaking populations, and second, we're doing competitor-judge pairing. If we end up with less judges, we can ask students to bring an adult to serve as a judge. This ensures that every competitor brings the resources needed for a successful round while reinforcing community engagement.
As we wait for outreach responses, we'll dive into operations and logistics. We've mapped out everything from mid-July to mid-August. From July 7th until late June, we'll develop judge resources, send day packets with tech info, and share competitor instructions. In our final stretch, we'll assign volunteer roles, set up a Slack for communication, and test optional SMS alerts for day of updates. On the tournament day, we'll run 3 preliminary rounds, 1 final round, and a live award ceremony, and the entire tournament will be supported by a Zoom help desk and text alerts.
Our tournaments require minimal funding and focus only on essential needs. Key expenses include a $200 annual Wix fee for our website and a shared Zoom subscription. Chapters will need to cover local costs like marketing, like posters or ads, medals, and occasional judge payments. While these aren't needed for our pilot, they may be in future expansions.
Hosting the tournament online removes major costs like venue, food, and transportation, letting us focus on what matters most, empowering students. We plan to fundraise through several channels. First, community microgrants like our school's annual award for student-led projects. Second, donations from district ELL coordinators who often have funding for initiatives like ours. And thirdly, sponsorships from businesses in exchange for advertising at our local tournament, particularly from local businesses. The core of CSDI is its people. Our current team includes experienced youth leaders, debate alumni, and bilingual volunteers. But we've also mapped out all the personnel and logistics required to scale. In preparation, our system requires an executive director to ensure quality and ensure cohesion in execution. An operations director who will act as the tournament director on the tournament day and prepares all the logistics and handle setup. And finally, an outreach director and their crew who will gather students and judges. Then, for the actual day of, our pilot tournament, which will host roughly 8 students, requires 1 tournament director, 3 tab room staff, and 5 to 8 judges. We've developed clear roles and training resources for each of these positions to ensure consistency and ease of onboarding as we grow and establish a manager to ensure cohesion during the tournament day.
For the sustainability of our idea, it's not just about funding, it's about design. We built a replicable framework that student leaders can adopt in their communities. Our website, judging rubrics, and outreach templates are all modular and open source.
Our work doesn't just end after the tournament. Instead, we've created a CSD setup guide, a curriculum that teaches students how to launch Spanish debate programs while building leadership skills through tools like the project management cycle and others taught in prestigious programs such as Scouting America's National Youth Leadership Training. This hands-on system empowers students to lead by launching their own hometown tournaments, expanding our program.
We're already sharing this guide with a school in the Dominican Republic, and starting September, we'll connect with youth leaders in other states. Our goal is to launch in 2 new states by November and expand each semester in 2026. Our role will shift from hosting to mentoring new chapters. When it comes to success, we're not measuring by the number of trophies handed out. Instead, we're looking at the number of Spanish-speaking students able to be engaged, our growth in student confidence, civic interest, and leadership, and the expansion to new schools and regions. Of course, we also want judge satisfaction and retention rates, and we also want to build partnerships with local organizations. Our vision is bold, but it's achievable. From an 8-student pilot in 2025, we aim to grow to 12 state chapters and 2,000 students by 2030. To sustain this, we're securing recurring funding and national partnerships, including one with the NSDA. With 140,000 debate students and 5.3 million English learners nationwide, this goal is within reach, and it just needs your support. Our biggest and most immediate risk is judge recruitment, particularly because all judges must be well-trained and trained in Spanish. To mitigate this risk, we've engaged in various practices to recruit judges, ranging from, as previously mentioned, finding local volunteers to requiring students to bring a judge.
Another risk is struggling to find students to grow the project locally. Without them, expansion stalls. But with today's competitive college admissions, many students are eager to make an impact, and we can advertise our program as a way to do just that. Our pilot program will also build the credibility needed to attract their support. Once again, our experience, ranging from project management in STEM competitions to event management, will keep us prepared for any risk.
When scaled, Colorado Spanish Debate advances the Sustainable Development Goal 4, which is quality education. It closes civic education gaps for Spanish-speaking youth, builds leadership, sharpens critical thinking, and strengthens global civic engagement.
Together, we can make a world where every student's voice is heard and enabled. The Colorado Spanish Debate is our solution, but we need your help to keep the momentum going. Please, share our mission and help us lift every voice. Thank you.